Mataji's. Uttarayam Dutapuro Vamsasadava Bhimanyuna Savai Draunastras Samplushtaha Punar Bhagavata Drutaha Uttarayam Dutapuro Vamsasadvabhimanyuna Savai Draunastras Samplushtaha Punar Bhagavata Drutaha Uttarayam Dutapuro Vamsasadvabhimanyuna Savai Draunastras Samplushtaha Punar Bhagavata Drutaha Uttarayam unto Uttara Drutaha conceived Puroha of Puru Vamshaha descendants Sadhu Abhimanyuna by the hero Abhimanyu Saha he why certainly Drauni Astra by the weapon of Drauni the son of Drona Samplushtaha being burnt Punaha again for the second time Bhagavata by the personality of Godhead Dritaha was protected. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace of Charananda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Translation, please try to repeat. The embryo of Puru descendant begotten by the great hero Abhimanyu in the womb of Uttara, his wife was burnt by the weapon of the son of Drona. But later, he was again protected by the Lord. Purport. The embryonic body of Parikshit, which was in the formation after Uttara's pregnancy by Abhimanyu, the great hero, was burned by the Brahmastra of Aswathama, but a second body was given by the Lord within the womb, and thus the descendant of Puru was saved. This incident is the direct proof that the body and the living entity, the spiritual spark, are different. When the living entity takes shelter of the womb of a woman, through the injection of the semen of a man, there is an emulsification of man's and woman's discharges, and thus the body is formed the size of a pea, gradually developing into a complete body. But if the developing embryo is destroyed in some way or other, the living entity has to take shelter in another body or in the womb of another woman. The particular living entity who was selected to be the descendant of Maharaja Puru or the Pandavas was not an ordinary living entity, and by the superior will of the Lord, he was destined to be the successor of Maharaja Yudhishthira. Therefore, when Aswathama destroyed the embryo of Maharaja Parikshit, the Lord, by his own internal potency, entered into the womb of Uttara by his plenary portion, just to give audience to the would-be Maharaja Parikshit, who was in great danger. By his appearance within the womb, the Lord encouraged the child and gave him complete protection in a new body by his omnipotence. By his power of omnipresence, he was present both inside and outside of Uttara and other members of the Pandava family. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Om Jnanatimrandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupagadamahyam Dadadi Sapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurun Sri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sakhagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanasute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunnavadi Paschaittya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangalangayate Grimit Kapatam Mande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Mishwaram Kathanchana Smrite Yasmin Dushkaram Sakaram Bhavet Vismrite Pritam Syat Sri Chaitanyam Namamitam Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swami Nitanamine Namacharya Padaya Nita Kripapadayine Gaura Katadamadaya Nagaragramatarini Uttarayam Dritapuror Vamsas Sadhu Abhimanyuna Savai Draunyastra Samplushtaha Punar Bhagavata Dritaha. The embryo of Puru descendants, begotten by the great hero Abhimanyu, in the womb of Uttara, his wife, was burnt by the weapon of the son of Drona. But later, he was again protected by the Lord. So, in these chapters, up to the 4th chapter, we are treated with the nectar of Krishna's pastimes. So, in the beginning of the 3rd canto, is like 10th canto, because we get to see all the pastimes of the Lord, like a fast forward, like a preview. What is going to come in the 10th canto? Some trailer. There's a trailer running. Sometimes when they release a movie, they release something called as trailer, where they show some important parts of the movie. Like that, by the mercy of Vidura and Uddhava, we are getting one trailer of 10th canto. So therefore, it's very sweet. Sometimes devotees are afraid of 3rd canto. They think that, oh, 3rd canto, no. 3rd canto starts with nectar. And that nectar is very important nectar. And that is the nectar which we really want. And that nectar flows into the further topics of 3rd canto. So the rest of the 3rd canto is only simply expansion of the first 4 chapters. This is what is discussed. More in terms of relevance to us, the material world which we have, and all those things. Especially in this verse, we are talking about protection. We are talking about protection of the Lord, how the Lord protected Maharaja Parikshit. Of course, you are all familiar with the pastime that after the war was over and after everything, Krishna was trying to go back. That time, Uttara, she comes running to Krishna. Pahi pahi mahayogin deva deva jagatpate nanyatyat abhayam pasche yatra mrityu parasparam. She is saying that this side, that side, parasparam, this side, that side. This side of life, that side of life. On both sides of life, there is nobody other than you to protect. So please, pahi pahi, protect me, pahi pahi mahayogin. Oh, greatest of yogis, please protect me, deva deva jagatpate. So why? Because she saw that this arrow of Aswatthama is coming very fast, and it is trying to enter the womb and trying to kill the child in the womb. And then she didn't want the child to be killed. She was saying, oh, let me die, but please protect my child. I'm not so much worried about living, because anyway, her husband is dead. And in those days, a woman considered her life not worth living if she did not have a husband. So therefore, anyway, she was dead. She considered, anyway, I am dead. What is the use of this body, carrying this body? My husband is not there. I am simply living because this embryo is there in my womb. So I can die, but please protect this embryo. Of course, Krishna took immediate action. He was inside with the Sudarshan Chakra, and then he counteracted the weapon. And here it is said that Drauni Astra Samplushta Punar Bhagavata Dritaha. So the word Dritaha is coming twice. The first Dhritaha is the protection which is offered by the mother for the embryo. The embryo is very tender. He cannot survive in the outside world. So he has to be protected by the womb of the mother. He has to be inside the womb. And he has to be fed by the mother through the umbilical cord. And the body has to develop. Prabhupada explains here that how first initially it is pea-sized, and then from there different things develop. And the embryo becomes full-fledged. And sometimes this embryo, he is sitting inside the womb, and also he has consciousness. He is thinking, hey, what is this? Where I am sitting? This is not a very good place. Doesn't seem to be very comfortable. There is not so much space. I can't move my hands. I cannot move my legs. There is so much restricting. And I have some living entities who are with me. They are also biting me. They are also troubling me. And sometimes my mother, she is eating very hot food. It is burning my skin. What is this place? I don't like this place so much. How did I get into this place? He is thinking. And then he is understanding, oh, I am spirit soul. I got this body. So I am suffering here. This is not a very good place. Enmayayor uruguna bandhanesmin, janmani bandhanesmin, samsarika paticharam abhishramena, nashta smriti, punarayam pravrinita lokam, yukta kaya mahad anugraham tadantarena. This is very nicely explained by Kapiladev, that how he is praying. Yen mayayor uruguna karmani bandhanesmin. What did bind me? What is the binding force which is binding the soul and the body? What is binding me? He is saying, uruguna karmani bandhanesmin. This very strong modes of material nature, due to the reactions of my own work, this has tied me to this body. And what it has done, samsarika paticharam. Go and live in this material world. Go. Helplessly it is thrown into the material world. Abhishramena is not very, it's not very happy life. It's not very jolly life. Even when I was a small boy, I was reading fairy tales, and then they are writing that they lived happily ever after. That Cinderella came, and the prince came, and then Cinderella was running, the prince was running, and then the prince caught hold of Cinderella, and then they got married, and then they lived happily ever after. They never described the married life. Then Cinderella is telling the prince, oh prince, what is the use of you? You cannot even buy one lady's finger properly. How did you become prince? They never described the married life. They simply wrote, they lived happily ever after. So I was also thinking, we'll live happily ever after. But happily ever after is not happening. So the Abhishramena, Bhagavatam is not telling you, you can live happily ever after in this material world. If you want to live happily ever after, you have to go somewhere else. So Bhagavatam is telling very clearly, Abhishramena, samsarika patichana Abhishramena, nashta smriti, we forgot who we are, nashta smriti, punarayam pravrinita lokam, again I have entered in this body. Yukta kaya, how will I get out of this? How will I get out of this? Mahad anugraham tadantarena. Without the mercy of great souls, how will I get out of this? So he makes a resolution. We all make resolution, New Year resolution. Like that, he makes a womb resolution. This resolution is called what resolution? Womb resolution. He makes a resolution inside the womb. Tasmad means resolution. Therefore, tasmad aham vigata viklava uddarasya. I will therefore deliver myself from this very fearful condition. Vigata viklava uddarasya. How will I deliver myself? Atmanam sukrit atmanaiva. I have a friend. With that friend, I will deliver myself. Asu tamasaha. This whole condition which is in the womb is a great condition of ignorance. Sukrit atmanaiva. I will deliver myself. How will I deliver myself? Bhuyo yatha vesanam tat anekarandram. Anekarandram means many, many wombs. Many bodies, many wombs. I have been doing this business of getting into one womb, come out of, and then make some dance, flap your hands like this, and then go into another womb, and then get out, and then get into another womb. Bhuyo tata vesanam yat anekarandram mame bhavishyat. In future, I will not enter into one more womb. Mame bhavishyat. Now, how can that happen? Upasadita Vishnupadaha. I'll simply catch hold of Vishnu's feet. And then I will not enter into another womb. So that is the real protection. That is the real protection. But in the material world, according to each one's consciousness, each one understands their own way what is protection. For example, when the plants and trees, they have Annamaya consciousness. They can only identify food. So for them, protection means food. That's it. There is no more understanding of protection. You can go and cut a tree. He will not protest. Hey, what man, you are cutting me? Don't cut me. He will not say. He will not protest. Because he has not even consciousness of his own body. He doesn't have consciousness of his own body. He doesn't have consciousness that he has to protect his body. No consciousness that I have to protect my body. So dull, Annamaya consciousness. Only food. You put a plant near the window, it will go towards the sunlight. The root will go towards the water. So on top he knows sunlight, on bottom he knows water. That's it. He will grow like this. Wherever sunlight is there, he will go. Wherever water is there, he will go. Because the Supreme is simply understood as food in Annamaya consciousness. Same way children. They don't know anything. They only know one thing, that they know how to suck the milk from mother's breast. Nobody gives training to the child. That when child is born, doctor is telling, oh, now child, you are born, you should understand how to suck the breast from milk from mother's breast. No, no training. He is born with this knowledge because that is Annamaya consciousness. With that consciousness, he will protect himself. He doesn't know anything else. You go and beat a child, he can't do anything. He passes stool, urine, everything in the same place. He doesn't know cleanliness. He doesn't know anything. He can't speak. He can only cry, ngang, 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 ngang. But the sense of food is there. Sense of food is there. So in Annamaya consciousness, protection is seen in terms of food. Then from Annamaya consciousness, you come to Pranamaya consciousness. In Pranamaya consciousness, the sense of protection is seen in terms of protecting the body. Therefore, senses are very alert. Therefore, senses are very, very alert. So you see, the animals have well-developed senses. Their karmendriya, gyanendriya are very well developed. Like the eagle can fly so much height, thousands of meters above, and then he can see, oh, my prey is there. Flying, it comes down, and then swoops, and then takes the prey and goes. Why? Pranamaya consciousness. The karmendriyas and gyanendriyas are well developed to protect the body because the protection is seen as protecting the body, Pranamaya consciousness. And then you go to Jnanamaya consciousness, all the protection goes to the mind, no longer body. All human beings are in Jnanamaya consciousness. So much of mental speculation about how to protect ourselves. Like 50 years before, if you want to go to airport, no protection. You just go inside the airport, you just go inside, you just get into plane and then go. Sometimes you see Prabhupada videos, Prabhupada is coming in the airport, in the plane. Sometimes they're not, they're even in the tarmac and they're dancing. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, they're dancing. Now you cannot even imagine. So much of protection. So many, this machine, that machine, luggage scanning machine, man scanning machine, woman scanning machine, so many machine. You get into everything. So much of protection. Why? Manomaya consciousness, mental speculation, which comes out of fear. There's so much of fear. Fear is the biggest industry, multi-billion-dollar industry in the world, fear. Out of fear, so many industries are running. People are making so much money with fear. Anything you touch, it has a fear component in it. You take a computer, antivirus. What is that? Fear. The virus will attack. So you have to put antivirus. Anything you take, fear, 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 fear. So much of fear. This is Manomaya consciousness. And there's so much of fear. And in Manomaya consciousness, so much mental speculation you make that what will protect me? Sex life will protect me. Man is thinking sex life will protect me. Sukadeva Goswami is saying, Dehapatya Kalatrajasho, Atma Sainyesho. This is my army, Atma Sainya. This is my army, Atma Sainya. What is the army? Dehapatya Kalatrajasho. My body, my wife, my children, my relatives, my car, my bike, my this, my that. Is my army, Atma Sainyesho. But what is the reality? Asat Savapi. It's not protection. It is very temporary. Asatsopi. But man is mad. Tesham pramatto nidhanam. He is mad. Pramattaha. Because he cannot see. Because of his madness, he cannot see. Oh, money cannot protect me. Body cannot protect me. Wife cannot protect me. Children cannot protect me. He cannot see. Because he is mad. Pashyan api na pashyati. He sees, but he cannot see. He sees, but he cannot see. Then there are people who understand Vedic knowledge. They understand Vedic knowledge. These people are useless. We know what is protection. Dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. What is that? Dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. Dharma protects the person who protects dharma. So therefore, you seek protection in dharma. Dharma rakshati rakshitaha. You seek protection in dharma. Oh, very good, sir. What is dharma? Can you please tell me what is dharma? Then everybody has their own definition of dharma. The Mimamsavadis are saying whatever is piety is dharma. Whatever is impiety is adharma. What is piety? Whatever is sanctioned in the Vedas is piety. You do that. Veda pranihito dharmo hi adharma se viparyaha. Vedo narayana sakshat swayambhoriti sushruma. So, actions of piety is protection. This is what the Mimamsavadis think. Actions of piety is protection. They say, oh, simply act piously. Don't worry about God. God has no role in this. Just you act piously. But even if you try to act piously, that's why Ajamila's pastime is there. Even if you try to act piously, you cannot continue in the platform of piety. The nature of material world is that it will disturb you. Ajamila did not go to forest to see a man and woman having sex. No, he didn't go to forest for that. He simply went to forest to collect some firewood. But he happened to see this. So therefore he got confused. He is thinking, oh, what is this? This lady, she looks so beautiful. Okay, bring her, keep her. And become rascal number what? Become thief, become this, become that. Throw away the father and mother, such a big disturbance. Throw away the wife, bigger disturbance. And then engage in all sorts of sinful activity. So, where is his piety? Where is dharmo rakshati rakshitaha? Where is his piety? No, it cannot protect. Simply, the resolve to act piously cannot protect a human being. So therefore the Jnanis say that aham brahmasmi. I am Brahma. I am Brahma. So these Mimamsavadis, they don't have developed consciousness. We are the people who are having developed consciousness. We know we are not this body. Aham brahmasmi. Tattvam asi. You are that. And we'll go simply merge in the Brahman. We'll go simply merge in the Brahman. That is protection. That is protection. So therefore, they are very busy. Jnanis are very busy people. Whatever they see, they have to reject. Neti, 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 neti. Not this, not this, not this, not this. Keep rejecting. Neti, neti, neti. The process of neti. And then they think this process of rejection is their protection. But then what Bhagavatam is saying, ye anni aravindaksha vimukta maninaha. Vimukta maninaha. These people are thinking, we are doing neti, 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 we are not going to get caught. Vimukta maninaha. They are thinking, toyi astabhavat avishuddha buddhayaha. Because astabhava means they have so much mental speculation of what is right and what is wrong. Therefore, their whole mind is contaminated. And they are thinking, I am so great, I have become God. Man, now I am God. I have become God. Aruha krachrena padam, param padam tataha. I am God. You are God. Dog is God. Everybody is God. Let us not have any dispute. You become God, I become God. Let's make the dog also God. And let us all enjoy together. Everybody is God. Param padam tataha. But what is the reality? Patanti ado. They have to fall down. Anadrita usmatangrayaha. They have to fall down. Then the yogis are telling, yeah, we know what is the problem of the Gyanis. These people are just mentally speculating. These people are just mentally speculating. They don't know the process of controlling the mind. We know the process of controlling the mind. We have the process. We have yama, niyama, pranayama, pratyahara, dhyana, dharana. We know the process. We know how to do it. We are not like the Gyanis. So the yogis seek protection against the mind through the power of the mind. And then they try to control the life air. They are trying to control the life air. And then they are trying to think, do asana, that, this, and then one Menaka comes, chill. Open little bit eye and see. She looks so nice. And then what happened to yoga? Okay, keep it aside. Now let us do some business of sense gratification. So no protection. Dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. Is it wrong? No, it is not wrong, because it is Vedic statement. It is not wrong. But one has to understand what is dharma. One has to understand what is dharma. Therefore, Bhagavatam says that poshanam tad anugrahat. Bhagavatam, Sukadeva Goswami, he is telling in the second canto, poshanam tad anugrahat. The real protection is to accept the mercy of the Supreme Lord. So this is dharma. Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhakti radoksaje ahaituki apratihata ayatma suprasidati. Ayatma suprasidati. Simply, Ajamila, he called Narayana only once. Immediately the Vishnudutas came. Do not fear. They came. They told thrice, do not fear. He called once, they told thrice, do not fear. We are here. So, dharma rakshati rakshitaha. You call out Krishna, he comes. Sometimes you may not even need to call out. Like the Kumaras, they didn't call out. Tasya ravinda nayanasya padaravinda kinjal kamishra tulasi makaranda vayu antargatasva vivarena chakara tesham samshobham akshara jusham apichitta tanmo. They simply had this eagerness. They didn't even call. They simply had this eagerness. They're thinking, oh, can we see Narayana? Can we see? We just want to see. Can we see? So simply the eagerness to enter the temple of the Lord. Simply that wafting smell of tulsi, of the incense, of the flowers offered to the Lord. Simply smell. So, the Lord's protection is so easy to accept for those who want to accept it. The Lord's protection is so easy to accept. So, therefore, the real protection lies in the Lord's lotus feet. So, the gopis, they are searching for Krishna, and then they are singing, oh, my Lord. Virachita bhayam Vishni duryate sharanamiyusham samshrute bhayat. Karasaroruham Kantakamadam Sirasidehina Shikaragraham. That whoever is afraid of this material existence, they should simply seek your lotus feet. They should simply seek your lotus feet. Gajendra is also telling the same thing. Didikshavo yasya padam sumangalam vimukta sangha munayassu sadavaha charanti aloka vritam avrinam vane. Didikshavo yasya padam sumangalam. The most auspicious lotus feet, these people, they are afraid of material existence. They want to see, but where to go and see the lotus feet? So therefore they are going to forest. And they are doing so much austerities to see the lotus feet. So the real protection is to accept the shelter of the Lord's lotus feet. There are so many verses in Srimad Bhagavatam which glorifies the protection of the Lord's lotus feet. Samashita yadpada pallava plavam mahatpadam punyesho murare bhavambuder vatsapadam param padam yat vipadam na tesham. So there's so many verses in Bhagavatam, hundreds of verses literally talking about the protection of the Lord's lotus feet and how to take the shelter of Lord's lotus feet, because the Lord's lotus feet, there are already some people are there. And who are they? They are the great devotees of the Lord. They are always living at the shelter of the Lord's lotus feet. So therefore they are called as Prabhu Pada. They are called as Prabhu Pada, because they are taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. So when we take shelter of those devotees who have taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, and when we take their instructions very seriously, that forms the real protection, because they know what is dharma. In Bhagavatam, Yamaraj is telling to his followers, Dwadashi me vijanimo dharmam bhagavatam bataha. Oh, my dear followers, only 12 of us know what is dharma. So therefore, whoever walks on the path of those 12 great Mahajans, Mahajana yena gata sappantaha, those who walk on the path of the great Mahajans, they understand dharma. And if we follow their instruction, that constitutes our protection. That constitutes our protection. And then we can feel fearless, we can feel protected. So therefore, our own Prabhupada, His Divine Grace, Abhay Charanaravindra Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, he gave us this wonderful institution, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, for our protection. For our protection. Within this institution, we can actually practice dharma, the real dharma which will protect us. And what is the real dharma which will protect us? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is the protection. And this real dharma which can protect us, He has given. He has given this wonderful society where we can get nice prasadam, our Annamaya consciousness can be satisfied, we can get nice prasadam, we don't have to look here and there, we don't have to struggle for existence, we can get nice prasadam, and we can have nice, if we follow Prabhupada's instruction, then we can have nice healthy life also. We can have nice healthy life if we follow Prabhupada's instruction of how to eat, how to dance in front of the deity, how to keep ourselves busy 24 hours, not to be lazy. If we follow all this protection, instruction, we can even have healthy life. So our pranamaya consciousness is also satisfied. Our pranamaya consciousness is also satisfied. And we have so much to think about in this International Society for Krishna Consciousness. We have so much to think about. How to increase preaching, how to reach to so many people, how to distribute so many books, and how to preach to more and more people, how to actually advance in our own way in Krishna consciousness. There's so much to think about. Mind can be very busy. From morning to night, mind can keep on be engaged in thinking so many Krishna conscious things. Mind can be very busy. So our Jnanamaya consciousness can also be satisfied. And simply by engaging in the activities of devotion, in the different activities of International Society for Krishna Consciousness, in whatever service we may have big service, we may have small service, we may have medium service, whatever service we have, if we simply engage in our service, we can very easily understand that we are not this body. We don't have to do all this neti business. We don't have to try to control the life here, purvaka, kumbhaka, rechaka, nothing. We don't have to get into all this business. Simply by doing our service very sincerely, we can understand we are not this body. We are a spirit soul. We are servant of Krishna. We can understand everything. And then, in this wonderful society of devotees, we can remain protected. There's a very nice, wonderful analogy in Bhagavatam about the protection of devotion. Very, very wonderful analogy is there. That there is a bumblebee. This bumblebee, he is flying. He's flying. And he is being scorched by the sun. And he's very hungry. Very, very hungry. And this fellow, he needs some honey. So he finds the lotus. And then he gets into the lotus. He gets into the whirl of the lotus where the honey is there. And he is trying to drink the honey. And because he has taken complete shelter of the lotus, then the petals of the lotus, they are so cooling. They are actually giving him protection from the sunlight. And he is very happy. He is no longer scorched by the sun. He is very happy. He is very cool. And he is drinking honey to his heart's content. And he is very happy. So this way, the protection of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, the protection of the Association of Devotees, which we have, this is our real protection from the scorching sun of material existence. We should enter this lotus. And we should drink that honey. Pibata Bhagavatam Rasamalayam. The invitation is there. Drink. Drink to your heart's content. It is never going to end. It is never going to finish. It's not that you have 1 liter of juice, you distribute to everybody and then it is finished. No. It's unlimited juice. Pibata Bhagavatam. Drink this Bhagavatam. To your heart's content, drink it. Sukadeva Goswami is saying, Vyasadeva is saying, drink. Muhrago Rasika. Become the great connoisseur of this drink called Srimad Bhagavatam. Drink it in the association of devotees. This is a real protection. This is the real dharma. This is the dharma of the soul, that simply discussing Krishna Katha in the association of devotees, simply enjoying that protection which is given by the association of devotees, remaining in the association of devotees. This is a real protection which is given. So therefore, all of us, we should meditate on this wonderful opportunity which we have, which Krishna has given, which Prabhupada has given, and take this opportunity very seriously and try to make the best of this opportunity. Make the best of this opportunity. There are many problems. Problems will always be there because the material world by nature is full of problems. Krishna has given certificate to this material world. What certificate he has given? He has given Dukkhalayam Aswaswatam. So if anybody is expecting that in this world there will be no problem, he is in fool's paradise. He is in fool's paradise. So therefore, this world is going to have problem. This body is going to give problem. These things are given, granted, is there. But one should focus on the solution, which is the protection which is given by the Lord. That's why Bhagavatam says, Padam padam yat vibadam na tesham. People sometimes focus on padam padam yat vipadam. It's good, we should focus on that. But more than that, we should focus on na tesham. Na tesham. We are not meant to focus on this material world. We are meant to focus on the spiritual world. We should meant to focus on the spiritual world. We are not meant to focus on this material world. Nature of material world is known. We should be careful. That much we should be careful. It's okay. But we should not think too much about this material world. Oh, it's happening like this. Oh, it's happening like that. Oh, if it is not happening only, we should be surprised. If bad things are not happening, then we should be surprised. Bad things are happening, we should never be surprised. This is the nature of material world. From beginning to end, it is like this only. From the beginning of creation, same. From the beginning of creation, problem is there. Until end of creation, problem will be there. So the human life is not meant to focus on the problem and find bogus solution. The human life is simply meant to focus on the real solution. What is the real solution? The real solution is to practice real dharma. And what is real dharma? Real dharma is the congregational chanting of the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So therefore, this verse gives us wonderful opportunity to meditate on the subject matter of protection. Okay, we'll stop here. Any questions, comments, anything? Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you for drawing our attention to protection. I was thinking about this special designated protection for Maharaj Parikshit. And in Krishna's master plan, this protection of this devotee was so the Srimad Bhagavatam could be spread all over this planet Earth. So it's not a private protection from you retreating from the world and just for yourself. This pastime is so incredible because it led to this unbelievable book distribution of Srimad Bhagavatam. And I think connecting protection to this pastime is a very wonderful way of thinking of, as you said, Sankirtan, which is ultimately the only way we get protection. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Any other comment, question? Yes, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhu, for such a lively class. I would like to know, when the Lord's protection is available so mercifully, still people refuse to take shelter. What is the reason for this?
So there are many reasons for this, but the most important reason is that people become victim of mind. This mind is a very powerful thing, and very especially in the 5th canto, there's a very elaborate description of mind. Initially, Rishabhadev explains it very succinctly. He says, Parabhavas tavad abodhajato yavanna jigyasat atmatattvam yavat kriyas tavadidam manovai karmatmakam yena sharira bandhaha evam mana karmavasam prayungte avidya atmani upadhiyamane pritirna yavan mayi vasudeve na muchyate dega yogena tavat. He says. In 2 verses, he actually explains the power of mind. And then he says that this power of mind should be broken by devotional service. Knowledge comes as a concomitant factor. Knowledge is not the factor. People think that knowledge is important. Knowledge is not so important. Devotional service is important. When we do devotional service, knowledge automatically comes. Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha. Prayojitaha means it comes as a result of Bhagavati Bhakti. It comes as a result. Knowledge is not so important. It will come. It comes naturally, it comes. When I say it's not so important, I'm not saying that it's not important at all. I am saying relatively knowledge is not important. Relatively bhakti is important. So therefore, the biggest challenge which the devotee community faces today is to raise out of that mental platform. That's why I was discussing about the levels of consciousness. There is Annamaya, there is Pranamaya, there is Jnanamaya, there is Vijnanamaya. So as long as we are stuck in Pranamaya consciousness and we are allowing mind to dictate what is good for us and what is not good for us, then we have to suffer. That's what Arjuna is asking. Atakena prayuktoyam papam sarati purushaha anichannapi vasnaya balaniva niyojitaha. Why does a man have to do things knowingly wrong, as if he is being forced? Then then Krishna says, Kamayesha Krodayesha Rajoguna Samudbhavaha Mahashano Mahapapma Vidhyena Mihavarinam. That please understand this Rajoguna and the products of this Rajoguna, which is Kama and Krodha, Mahashano, the greatest destroyer, Mahapapma, the greatest source of sin, this is your real enemy. And how to overcome that enemy? Evam buddhe param buddhva samstabhyatmanam atmana jahi shatrum mahabaho kamarupam durasadam. He says that the mind should be controlled. Prabhupada actually translates param buddhva as deliberate spiritual intelligence. Wonderful translation Prabhupada gives. Deliberate spiritual intelligence. And in the bracket Prabhupada writes Krishna consciousness. So there should be deliberation before action. And that deliberation should be spiritual. And that spiritual means Krishna consciousness. This is the process. So unfortunately, we don't follow this process. We simply act by the whims of the mind. There's no deliberation. If the deliberation is there, the deliberation is a product of sankalpa and vikalpa, then means that I like it, I don't like it. This is mental platform. Mental platform is I like it, I don't like it. And then it comes down to deliberation based on that. No, first of all, deliberation should be there. Then I like it, I don't like it. Based on the result of the deliberation. This is very nicely explained in Kapila Siksha. Sometimes devotees are afraid of Kapila Siksha, but Kapila Siksha actually gives us the tool to use intelligence above mind. Krishna gives only a hint. You use intelligence above mind. In the 3rd chapter, Krishna gives the hint. But how to use the intelligence above mind, that is explained in Kapila Siksha. There is a whole section of intelligence and mind and how to do it. So, therefore, if we accept the superior intelligence of the spiritual master to guide us, we may say, oh, this is all too much, I can't use my intelligence. Okay, don't use your intelligence. Use borrowed intelligence. It's the intelligence of the spiritual master. Use it. If you allow the spiritual master's intelligence to guide us, then we will not make mistake. Rameshwar Prabhu wants to add something. Yes, Prabhuji. Yes.
Thank you for the question. We are living in an age where the demons are very powerful and they're everywhere. They are working tirelessly to convince the entire population there is no God. So when you say, why aren't people going to God for protection? We're in a battle with these asuras. We have our machines, we have our advancement of society. We don't need God. We can protect you without God. That is their propaganda. We are making God's propaganda, and they are making asura propaganda. And this is the competition. This is the battle for the minds and hearts of the whole world. We have to win this battle. Hare Krishna.
Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. So ultimately, Krishna Sankirtan will be. Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Prabhuji, we see that the verse talks about the Krishna's protection to Parikshit Maharaj by protecting his life by entering the womb of Uttara. And later on, when Parikshit Maharaj is cursed, then we speak about Krishna's protection by sending Shukdev Goswami at the most crucial junction of his life. So Krishna's protection came in different ways in the life of Parikshit Maharaj. How do we identify Krishna's protection in our life, especially in a time of a reversal or some difficulty, that in what form and at what time Krishna's protection will manifest? Does it depend upon the development of a consciousness of a person, or how do we see that?
See, the point is that Krishna's protection is always there. Okay. Without Krishna's protection, the jiva cannot live also. Like for example, that how do we have this breathing mechanism by which oxygen goes inside, carbon dioxide comes outside? How all these things happen? Because Krishna has made this body machine in such a way that we are able to do these things. But the point is that we don't see it. So it's not that Krishna's protection is not there and it has to come. Krishna's protection is always there. But we fail to see Krishna's protection. That is the problem, that is the defect of the jiva. The jiva in the material world, he thinks he is independent and he does not see Krishna's protection. And he does not see Krishna's protection, which comes in various ways. It's always there with us, in form of this body, in form of, even for the atheistic fellow, he is giving so many arguments saying that there is no God. Where is his brain coming from? It's coming from Krishna only. That is Krishna's protection. But he is misusing it. So the first thing as a devotee, what we should do is that we should try to acknowledge Krishna's protection, which is already there. That's what in the very beginning of 7th chapter, Krishna tries to teach us. Krishna is saying that Mataha Parataram Nanyati Kinchitasti Dhananjaya Mai Sarvamidam Protam Srutre Maniganayuva. So he is telling you fellow, first of all you understand that what I am doing to you, I am protecting you. You please understand this. Then he gives a whole list of protection which he is offering. Rasohamapsu Kaunteya, Prabhas Misa Shishurayo, Pranavas Sarvavedeshu, Sabdakke Paurusham Rishu, Punyo Ganda Prativiyam Sate Jastasmi Bhavaso, Jivanam Sarvabhuteshu, Tapastasmi Tapasvishu. So many things he is saying. Now you take each and every item of what Krishna is saying there, you will find that without one item you will die. Every item what Krishna is listing there is critical. So why Krishna is giving so much list? First of all, Krishna wants to understand, you fellow, you are in this body, you are enjoying, you are thinking that I am an independent enjoyer. Please try to understand, without me you cannot even have this body. So that is the training which Krishna is giving so that we can actually see and acknowledge Krishna's protection in already what we have. When we are trained to see Krishna's protection in everything, then naturally when reverses happen also, we will be able to see Krishna's protection. Now, Parikshit is trained like that. He is trained to see Krishna's protection. So when he gets cursed by Shringi, what is Parikshit's response? Parikshit gives a classic response. Prabhupada is translating the words of Parikshit's response. He is saying that the Supreme Lord has graciously overtaken me on the form of the curse of a Brahmana. You see what he says? He says the Supreme Lord has graciously overtaken me. That is, he is saying that after getting cursed. Why? Because Parikshit was seeing Krishna's protection throughout his life. So when reverse happened, it was natural for him to see Krishna's protection in that. So therefore, Krishna is training us in Bhagavad Gita to see Krishna's protection in whatever around us. So when we start seeing Krishna's protection, when we start experiencing Krishna's protection by chanting the holy name, by entering into the association of devotees, by actually seeing what is happening around us and acknowledging with gratitude whatever Krishna has given, then it becomes a habit for us to see Krishna's protection. Then when reverse happens, then naturally we will see that as Krishna's protection. So we think this is reverse, but it is not reverse. That's why in Chaitanya Charitamrita, the Lord is saying, Dvaite Bhadra Abhadra, Ye Sava Brahma, Ye Sava Brahma, Ye Bhala, Ye Manda, Ye Manodharma, he says. What is auspicious, what is inauspicious? This is all simply illusion. This is good, this is bad, this is simply mental speculation, he says. So therefore, by systematically seeing Krishna's protection, the way Krishna is teaching us in Bhagavad Gita, in Bhagavatam, then we will be able to actually understand what is Krishna's protection in all our reverses. Okay? Okay, we'll stop here. It's already time. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.